boy. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, coin collectors, and couch cushion archaeologists. Today, we're diving into the glittery, clinky, cha-chingy world of, drumroll please, gold, silver, and copper. You've seen them in Olympic Games. Metals so shiny they make your retinas do the Macarena. Gold for glory, silver for style, and bronze for, well, participation. You read about them in fairy tales and pirate stories. Arr, matey, hand over the doubloons or Winky walk the plank in Crocs. Museums? Oh, they're full of ancient bling, necklaces, goblets, coins, and that one mysterious artifact that looks suspiciously like a medieval fidget spinner. But wait, hold on to your lab goggles because here comes the science. Gold, silver, and copper aren't just the prom kings of metallurgy. They're a trio of elements in the periodic table known as coinage metals. That's right, these bad boys are grouped together like the Avengers of ancient currency. So here's the million-dollar question. Did ancient people know these metals were perfect for coins? Or did they just go, ooh, shiny, let's trade it for a good loaf of bread? Was it brilliance? Was it blind luck? Or was it just someone licking a copper nugget and saying, tastes like Gerber's? Stick around, because in this video, we're going to unravel the mystery, the history, and the chemistry behind these fabulous, fabulous metals. Let's get minted, baby!
Alrighty then, so before bartering, life was simple. It was the my stuff is your stuff, and your stuff is also my stuff because we're all in this together plan. A hunter brings back a mammoth, and everyone's like, woohoo, mammoth for all, high fives all around. It was all about communal living and sharing with your tiny nomadic tribe. No receipts, no haggling, just good old-fashioned prehistoric generosity. But then came the barter system, and oh, the humanity! What a glorious mess! It was like a game show where the only prize was something you already had, but you needed something else. The biggest problem, the dreaded double coincidence of wants. It's when I have a perfectly good spear and you have a basket of berries. But you don't need a spear, you need a nice clean pair of loincloths. So I gotta go find a loincloth maker who wants my spear. My berries are getting squished and my spear is getting dulled, all because we can't get our wands to coincide. It was a chaotic free-for-all of people trying to trade a cow for a handful of chickens, but nobody could figure out if the cow is worth 10, 12, or 100 chickens. And don't even get me started on trying to get jades for a cow. You can't just slice a cow in half for a few berries. That's a mess.
So we've got the barter system, right? A total chaotic mess. I got a cow. You got some grain? You don't want a cow. You want a chair? I gotta find a chair guy who wants a cow, and I'm just standing here with a hungry mooing cow. It was a nightmare. Ta-da! The rise of commodity money. But then, civilization got a little smarter. We realized, hey, let's trade with things everyone wants. We got commodity money, like shiny seashells. So now I'm not lugging around a smelly cow. I've got a pocket full of pretty shells. Or salt. You needed salt to keep your food from going all funky. So a handful of salt was worth its, it's salt. And then we got really fancy. We found shiny rocks, gold and silver. These things didn't rot. They didn't go bad. They were super rare. So now instead of a pocket full of seashells, I'm carrying around a nugget of gold. But here's the catch. I still had to weigh it. Every single time. Is this nugget of gold worth the same as that nugget of gold? Is it even pure gold? Is it just some sparkly rock that's going to trick me? It was like a treasure hunt with every single transaction. And then, in ancient Lydia, some genius says, what if we just step it? They took the gold and silver, mashed it together into a perfect little lump, and stamped it with a picture. A lion! Roar! Now, when you saw that lion, you knew exactly how much it was worth and that it was pure. No more weighing, no more guessing. They finally gave us money that made sense. Thank you, Lydians. It saved us from a life of trading cows for chairs. And that, my friends, is why we have the coins we use today.
Let's spin the wheel of history, folks, and find out, how did prehistoric people first get their hands on metals? Was it A, they mined it, B, they tripped over it, or C, they got whacked on the head by a falling gold nugget? Survey says, ow! Well, let's play the metals are right and find out. First up, gold, the Beyoncé of metals. Shiny, beautiful, and totally high maintenance. People loved it so much, they didn't even make tools with it. They just wore it. Ooh, look at me. I am a caveman influencer. Hashtag golden vibes. Coming this summer, copper, the edge of tomorrow. The first metal mined, hammered, and turned into pointy things. This was humanity's first upgrade from rock smash to metal smash. And then we met silver. Gold's less flashy, more sophisticated cousin. Perfect for fancy cups, jewelry, and eventually coins. Basically the metal you'd introduce to your parents. And here comes electrum. Sounds like a superhero, right? It's actually nature's remix, gold and silver mashed together. Ancient folks used it for coins, which means they were already arguing about inflation before they even had writing. This electrum coin used to buy 2 goats. Tired of soft copper? Want to slice your enemies in half instead of just mildly irritating them? Try bronze. Copper plus 10, sharper, stronger, and perfect for world domination. Supplies are limited, offer not valid in the Stone Age. Welcome to the Bronze Age, where people finally stopped losing fights to squirrels. Tools, weapons, armor. Prehistoric folk were basically leveling up like it was Minecraft IRL. 10 was like the sidekick who never got top billing, just quietly making bronze better for centuries. Finally, around 1750 BCE, it stepped into the spotlight. Hi, I'm Tim, and I approve this alloy. And finally, iron. At first, we only got it from meteorites. Yeah, space metal. Talk about limited edition. But around 1200 BCE, they cracked the smelting code, and the Iron Age rolled in. And suddenly, everyone's weapons were a whole lot scarier. So there you have it. From shiny rocks to space metal. Prehistoric people went from ooh, shiny to let's conquer the world. And all without Google.
Alrighty, let's dive into the ancient VIP club of coinage, where gold and silver were the Beyoncé and Jay-Z of money, and then copper showed up like your weird cousin Larry at a royal wedding. Let's go! Gold and silver, oh baby, they were the original influencers of the economy. Rare, shiny, and so valuable they made dragons jealous. These metals were used for big purchases, like buying land, armies, or a lifetime supply of grapes. But here's the catch. They were like that fancy restaurant where the menu has no prices. You don't go there for a snack, you go there to cry over your bank account. And then, copper crashed the party. Not rare. Not flashy, but oh so practical! Like showing up to a tuxedo party in cargo shorts and somehow making it work. Why copper? I'm gonna break it down like a dance move from 1987. Gold and silver were playing hard to get. Copper was everywhere. You could trip over it on your way to the market. It was the people's metal, minted in the coins for everyday stuff, like bread, cheese, and questionable street meat. Okay, don't lick it, but copper is tough. It doesn't rust like your uncle's 1992 sedan. These coins lasted longer than some empires. You could drop one in a volcano and it'd come out saying, "Is that all you got?" Mix copper with tin, boom, bronze. Mix it with zinc, shazam, brass. These alloys were like copper's glow-up montage. Stronger, prettier, and perfect for coins that didn't look like they had been chewed by a goat. As trade got spicy and economies leveled up, we needed a tiered system. Gold and silver for the big bowlers, copper for the daily grind. It was like having a wallet with VIP, regular, and I just need a coffee sections. So next time you see a humble copper coin, don't scoff. That little guy helped build civilization, feed families, and make sure you didn't have to pay for a loaf of bread with a gold bar. Respect the copper. And remember, money talks, but copper sings in the key of practicality. Once again, we're going back, way back, to when humans first decided, hey, instead of trading goats for bread, let's invent money! And not just any money, metal
all money. But why gold, silver, and copper? Why not aluminum foil or grandma's iron skillet? Back in the day, people had access to a whole buffet of metals. We're talking iron, tin, lead, zinc, even meteoric nickel. Yes, metal from space. But not all metals were cut out for the coinage catwalk. Lead, too soft. Tin, too flaky. Iron rusts faster than your New Year's resolutions. And meteoric nickel? Cool story, bro, but not exactly scalable. So how did ancient folks figure out gold, silver, and copper were the MVPs of money? Science! And a lot of trial and error. Durability. These metals didn't fall apart like a cheap umbrella in a hurricane. Malleability. Easy to shape into coins without needing Thor's hammer. Recognizability. People could spot them from a mile away. Woo, shiny! And value stability. They held their worth better than your crypto portfolio. Once civilizations got the memo, it was game on! Lydia, Rome, China, they all jumped on the coin train. Gold for the rich, silver for the merchants, copper for the everyday hero. It was like economic Pokemon, got a mint of all.
So next time you see a coin, remember, it's not just spare change.
It's the result of centuries of trial, error, and a whole lot of metallurgy. Gold, silver, and copper didn't just win the coinage game, they invented it!
And if you ever invent a new metal, make sure it's shiny, durable, and doesn't smell like feet. That's the coinage standard, baby! Alrighty, my atomic amigos. Time to crack open the bling box of science. Copper, silver, gold. The Wizard of Bling. They're called coinage metals. Why? Because apparently the universe decided, hey, let's make a trio of elements so perfect for coins it's almost suspicious. Now here's the kicker. They also happen to sit together in the same group of the periodic table. And what's a periodic table, you ask? Oh, you sweet summer child. It's like an astrology chart, but for science. Except instead of you're a Leo, so you'll find love in autumn, it's more like you're copper, so you'll conduct electricity like a caffeinated squirrel. Did they sit around a campfire going, I feel the vibe of group 11. I feel like copper has 1 electron in its s orbital and 10 in its d orbital. No, the answer is no. They've just had rocks together until the shiny stuff fell out. But modern science, it's got receipts. And here's what it says about these 3 shiny amigos. Number 1, electron configuration. Gold, silver, and copper. Group 11. These guys are like the Jonas Brothers of the elemental world. Let's break down why they're perfect for coinage, scientifically speaking. All 3 have a similar electron configuration. Copper is argon 3d10 4s1. Silver is krypton 4d10 5s1. Gold is xenon 4f14 5d10 6s1. That's right, they all have a full D subshell and one lonely S electron just chilling in a VIP lounge. This setup makes them stable, shiny, and ready to mingle. Number 2, SCC crystal structure. That's face-centered cubic, which sounds like a bad dance move, but it's actually a very tight, very symmetrical atomic packing. Number 3, slip system for malleability. Thanks to that FCC arrangement, these metals have tons of slip planes, like emergency exits for atoms. You push them, they don't crack. They just slide over each other like buttered roller skates. You can hammer them, roll them, squish them, and they won't throw a tantrum. Perfect for coins. FCC metals have 12 slip systems. That's like being able to do the splits in every direction. This makes them easy to shape without cracking. Unlike your uncle's back after 1 game of pickleball. Number 4, conductivity and luster. The flashy traits. These metals are excellent conductors of electricity and heat, and they've got that shiny, reflective surface that screams, I'm valuable. That's why they're not just in use in coins. They're in electronics, jewelry, and your grandma's favorite earrings. Modern science says they're chemically stable, don't corrode easily, easy to work with, look fabulous in daylight. Basically, they're the triple threat of metallurgy. If metals auditioned for Broadway, these three would be front and center, jazz hands blazing. And that, my friend, is why these three make perfect toys. Shiny, durable, easy to shave, and most importantly, they just look dag good in your treasure test. So next time you see a coin, remember, you're holding a little chunk of Group 11 magic straight from the periodic table's VIP lounge. No crystal ball needed, just some good old science. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm off to make my own gold coins out of chocolate, because let's face it, science is sweet.